Turn it down. Turn it down. We're leaving Vegas.
Oh, my God. Turn it off.
We're leaving Las Vegas after this.
Turn it off. Turn it in.
The last thing we'll do in Vegas. What is up, everybody? Welcome to DNVR Nuggets Podcast.
Let's
go. Presented by Shady Rays. You got those Shady Rays over there, Eric. Go ahead and throw those Shady Rays on, man. You got little Shady Rays?
I definitely met a guy last night named Shady Ray.
Shady Ray out on Fremont Street. Yeah, I know that guy. Guys, we're coming to you live from Victory Burger. Yes, the best burger joint on all of Fremont Street. Nay, the entire universe.
Oh, why stop there, dude? It's well beyond its delicious quota.
The best burger and salad joint.
Yeah, you should have yourself a big salad. It comes on a tray about this size.
Dude,
it's a massive salad.
Every time we've eaten here, one of the gentlemen has bowed out of the competition of being a man. Ordered a salad, rarely even finished.
The salad is too big, man. It's too big.
I finished my salad today.
Okay, well, listen, you're back in it. You're back in it.
Guys, this is our 5th day in Las Vegas, and that's like the last mile of a marathon. It really is.
Dude, I'm dying. I'm dying a slow death.
I'm not dying, but I do feel altered. Just fundamentally from who I used to be.
I'm ready to go home and see my wife and kids. Nuggets did not play yesterday, but we nonetheless, Harrison and I, went down to the arena nonetheless.
I did not go down to the arena.
You weren't there?
No.
It was just me and RG.
I was not there.
You weren't at the arena yesterday?
Nope, absolutely not.
It's tough.
Was it wind?
Who was tagging along with you?
It's tough to be in this movie that Adam's starring in that he's like looking around. He's like, hey, didn't we all have a great time? We're like, we weren't there.
Well, I was probably taking a nap during that time of the day.
He asked Kale if Harrison didn't know. Like, Kale, was it Harrison?
Can you confirm, Kale?
One of us was doing our job yesterday, and I guess some of us might not have been. No, but today's show, guys, we're going to talk about, I got some games for us to play to kind of warm up here, some fun stuff we look ahead. We're going to get a little bit away from the Summer League Nuggets for a while.
What?
Yeah, I know. Well, they've been off for a couple days. They'll be back tomorrow. By the way, very excited for that. We also have some wind chimes from around the arena from previous days.
The desert winds are blowing. That's what I've heard.
The winds are blowing down here, man. It was incredibly windy at the pool yesterday. That's when a lot of them came in.
Holy smokes.
Or 2 days ago that was. That was 2 days ago?
That was 2 days ago. We are also going to talk about the in-season tournament. I actually have takes about this. I can't believe I have takes about the in-season tournament. Very excited for that, unlike me. And then finally, last in the show, the head basketball coach of Mega Basket out, the developmental program that gave us Nikola Jokic.
And Vlatko
Cancar. Marko Barać, I sat down and did an interview with him. We're going to break it into a couple parts. One of those parts is going to be in the 4th segment today where he talks about Jokic and in Serbia, and it was just really, really cool. So I look forward to hearing from him. But let's start out with some fun here, guys, to kind of warm up. We're all, we're out late last night. We got to warm up the blood cells here. I want to ask you guys a couple of either-ors.
Okay.
I love this game.
I'm good at this game. I'm good.
What are the rules?
You got to pick one. Okay. What's more likely to happen next year, in your mind? Jokic wins the MVP award.
Okay.
Or Jamal Murray makes an All-NBA team. Not an All-Star team, All-NBA. Remember, it's positionless next year. Positionless All-NBA, just the best players, first and second team All-NBA. All right, Dev, what's more likely?
I think the one that we have seen multiple times already. Jokic winning the MVP again. I feel like he was robbed from this last one, bowed out at the last second, and I don't think that happens this year. Also, I feel like a lot of people are going to feel bad for their decision of not giving it to him last year. He's going to put up the same type of numbers. He's going to dominate in every single way. Nuggets going to win a lot of games. So I do think that happens. On the flip side, with Jamal, I still don't think that he's getting the respect that he deserves. And he would have to put up some astronomical numbers for him to overcome that. With it being positionless, I think that actually makes it more difficult for him to be able to make it, just because I think they're going to be like, hey, there's new names that are always there. We're going to put them there. So I think it'll be the Jokic one for me.
That's interesting. I think that the MVP conversation is much more narrative-driven than the All-NBA conversation. There's you have to talk about historical precedent, why, whether or not it's...
We're past that, though, don't you think?
Well, kind of, but it is, the clock did reset on Jokic. There can be a gap, and then they're fine. I kind of think it's Jamal, though. I don't know. I think that there are now eyes on Jamal in a way that there weren't before. He was pretty easy to overlook and forget, and now he's made himself such a focal point in the NBA that I think that it is more likely that he gets his due finally than. But it's going to be both, so it's fine.
Really?
Yeah,
Honestly, you think it's both?
It's entirely possible.
It is
entirely possible.
That would be a great year, wouldn't it not?
I mean, we're talking about the clear-cut number one best team in the NBA last year. Is it so crazy that we have two high-level representatives?
Yeah.
I mean, well, to break the tie, I'm going to go with Jamal Murray to make All-NBA.
Oh, yeah.
Solely.
That creates a tie.
Well, because, I was Jamal. I was Jamal.
Oh,
He was
okay.
Jokic. Solely because of some news that happened yesterday that is going to motivate Jamal Murray this season, unlike any other. There were some 2K24 ratings that came out that apparently were fake, but Jamal was an 84, and then he instantly went on Twitter and tweeted, "Ain't no way my rating that low. How is that possible?"
Yeah.
This will motivate Jamal Murray for the entirety of next season, even though it's a fake rating.
I love it, man. I love
This
Nuggets.
will motivate him to get All-NBA, maybe MVP. Who knows at this point? I mean, the sky's the limit.
He might become commissioner by year's end.
So this will kind of motivate him the entire season.
Man, I do hope that Murray becomes the most petty guy that he just makes up things.
Yeah.
Where did this rumor come from, by the way? Does anyone know?
I mean,
some aggregator just
they were
pretended?
leaked like they were real, but then you said the Ronnie 2K
I love that they treat these
czar of ratings came out and said they weren't.
I love that they treat these like the Oscars or something. They have to get the
Yeah.
third-party firm of PricewaterhouseCoopers to protect the ratings before they're revealed. I love young NBA. Young NBA is the dumbest shit ever. The stuff they're interested in.
But in all sincerity, I do love that Murray just carried this chip on his shoulder. I mean, we've seen him around the facilities lately. We thought maybe he'd be back in Canada, just living it up in Canada up there with that midnight sun they have, I think. But no, instead he's here in Denver, just can't get enough hoop, wants to be around the guys. I do think that we're talking about 2024, I think might be the year of Jamal. So I'm with you guys.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm not certain Jokic is going to go as hard this year as he has in the previous 3 seasons.
Nor should he.
I would not be surprised if he was phenomenal from January till March and then once again from April to June. I think that might be more in line with what he does, but I would not be surprised if Jokic this year in particular just kind of took it easy and had lower numbers. And we're in January and it's he's only averaging 22 a game right now. I kind of feel like that might happen. Meanwhile, Jamal
Was the championship fake?
They went through an 8 seed, a 4 seed.
Is Jokic even good?
Well, so, man, I don't want to spoil. There's a great line.
He can't even score.
There's a great line from the interview with Marko later on.
Shoot.
And I don't know if it's on today's episode or if it's on the one we'll do on Thursday, but there's this great line where he talks about 2 traits of Serbian players, and one of them is not, right, when everyone counts you out. But there's another sort of inverted one that we'll get to that I think we might be approaching with Jokic, where I'm very curious to see. So maybe it's important that he does play poor enough that by January people are saying that was last year a fluke or whatever, because then it motivates him back. Peyton Watson or Zeke Nnaji, who is going to play more minutes next year? I'll let you get this one first, D-Line.
Factor in the inevitable Zeke Nnaji injury to your analysis.
Well, so this is tough because
mean.
Zeke Nnaji has now technically worked himself over to the veteran side, which is what
No.
technically.
No.
Why?
Is he a vet?
It's about to be his 4th year in the league.
Yeah, but he's played the same number of minutes as Christian
He's younger.
Brown.
He's younger than Jalen Pickett, though. Yeah.
It's just
Wait, break the tie. Is he a vet, Dev?
No, even though they have chosen to go younger, he's not a vet. He doesn't have the respect to be a
Even
vet.
on a young team, he's
But
not
doesn't
a
vet just mean old? I don't know. Been around for a while.
People
a
have to
veteran.
listen to you to be a vet.
I mean, or
He's like a veterinarian?
People take care of people's dogs. I don't know. I guess so. I mean, to me, there's something about Michael Malone likes the devil you know versus the devil you don't. He doesn't trust rookies, generally speaking. So I just think that there's probably some kind of push for next man up, follow the ranks, do the right thing, get rewarded with playing time. That I'm sure that's a message he would like to send to the locker room in general, is just do the right thing, get rewarded. So I hope it's Zeke Nnaji, honestly, but
You hope it's. Oh, I see. Okay.
I would, because I've seen good play from Zeke Nnaji that just gets knocked out, he gets hurt, and then it's just like back to the bench and it's start over when he gets back in.
All right.
Has to work his way up. So I hope this is finally his time. But I would not be surprised, just because I know how excited everybody over there is about Peyton, that sort of is an agenda they stick with, even if it's not necessarily the best.
I'm gonna go very opposite of that. I've already had the summer of Zeke. Last year was the summer of Zeke where everybody was bought.
It was not a great summer.
Everybody loved it, though. They talked about him being one of the main guys. You know, he's been the standout. This is the year of Zeke. He's going to play a lot, and he did not play. Also, if we go into the playoffs as well as the finals, Peyton Watson was the guy that got to go on the court, not Zeke Nnaji. So, like, he already jumped over him.
Did he play in the playoffs?
No, I'm just saying he just, like, got in the game before Zeke.
End of the season, regular season.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, that actually matters, that I think that he already is over him in the pecking order. They already talk about Peyton Watson in every single way. He's the one that stands out. So, I do think that it's going to be Peyton Watson.
You're probably right. You're probably right. I think I just want it to happen because I want people's hard work to be rewarded in life, you know. But whatever.
I will go Peyton Watson.
I'm sure you guys are right.
I'll go Peyton Watson.
You just think it's him?
Yeah. I just think there's a lot of internal push for Peyton.
For sure.
I think Zeke's a potential trade candidate. I mean, that's kind of obvious, heading into the last year of his deal.
He is more likely to be traded, I would say, between the two. Therefore, that gives a little edge to him as well, just because he might be here longer.
Yeah, plus the Nuggets establishment is over there pushing P.
Oh, God.
You just had to get that out.
I'm going to go with Peyton as well. I think it's a pretty clear-cut choice, although I think both play. So, you know what? I think they both play.
It's close. I think it's close.
Yeah. Michael Malone to win Coach of the Year or Aaron Gordon to win an all-defensive team?
Bro, my futures pet for the Nuggets this season, we've made one each season for the last three, and we've hit one every time. It was Jokic MVP, Nuggets to win the championship. This year, my future is Michael Malone to win Coach of the Year. Coach of the Year
is
a
vision.
No, it's just I have seen a pattern. Coach of the Year is always 1 year later than it should have come. It's always like and especially a guy like Michael Malone, who was not even considered
at all.
Didn't get hardly any votes, if any, for Coach of the Year this last time. This is like what happened with Monty Williams. Everyone was like outraged that he got robbed, and next year he got it, even though he probably didn't deserve it, then got fired. It's just what happens, man. Michael Malone to win Coach of the Year, lock it down, put $3 to $4 on it, you'll eat for a year.
If the Nuggets are the 3 seed next year, is like he disqualified for that?
Yeah.
So they got to be a top 2 seed.
Maybe top 1.
I'm betting it.
I mean, I could see it. I agree with D-Line. It does tend to come a year late. I mean, he could very well deserve it. I will say I think there's another guy who I'm going to put some money on to win it. And I saw him at Carbone last night.
Oh!
I saw him at Carbone. I went to dinner at Carbone at the Aria, great Italian restaurant.
These are win shots. You got to save this.
While I was sitting there, though, there was a coaches convention going on. All these coaches walked in.
Around
Steve
the garlic
Kerr,
bread?
Eric Spoelstra walked in. The Nuggets were there, too. Stan and Josh Kroenke were there, the whole front office. But also there was Mark Daigneault from the Thunder. And I think he is going to win Coach of the Year next year.
Man, that's a great.
My answer here is AG. So one thing that I feel like stood out the most from the last game was the Nuggets are finally getting their respect. Like Malone's dad got shouted
Malone's
out.
Dad is winning stuff now.
He got shouted out at halftime where they gave him a lot of love. They gave him his moment. They clapped for him, and that was great to see. But like even if you look at like on the court, all of the Nuggets players came and everybody loves them. Like that was pretty big for me. But one guy that really has stood out, and I feel like the league is just like changing on altogether, is Aaron Gordon. He changed the way that he played. With Orlando, he was like the offensive guy that he had to do it all, and now he is like bought into his role. He won a championship playing Jokic style of basketball, and it's like, how do you give that type of respect to a guy that doesn't care to score, but he's also not like a guy that's just on everybody's game plan of defense, but it's just like he's so consistent that you're like, okay, we forgot about him, and I think they forgot about him a lot. Also, with the Coach of the Year with Michael Malone, They were the 1 seed last year. He did not win it.
I'm telling
so
you.
So if they're not the 1 seed with
winning,
who won it last year?
You got to win like 65 games.
Exactly. Who won it last year?
Who won Coach of the Year last year?
I legitimately don't know.
Really, how many games do you think that they would have to, win for that to happen?
Who won Coach of the Year?
Look it up for us there, fact checker.
That's my question to you, though, Adam. How many games do they have to win for them to actually get that respect?
Mike Brown.
They won
Sacramento.
16.
Mike Brown.
You need to win
that's right.
16.
Okay, that was, I guess,
And he was a 3
deserving.
seed. And he was a 3 seed. So,
But they came out of nowhere.
They did come out of nowhere. If you fall in the standings, I don't. Eric's not wrong about the
I'm
thinking.
right about this. It's going to happen.
Eric's not wrong about. I will say I don't think either one happens. But Aaron Gordon was good defensively in the regular season, up and down like anybody is. He was great in the playoffs. I think it's going to be the same next year. I don't know that he's going to shine in the regular season, but I think when the playoffs roll around, he's going to be one of the best defensive players in all the NBA.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Michael Malone, I keep going back and forth on what I think the Nuggets regular season is going to look like. Look, man, the playoffs matter. And the Nuggets are, sadly, now a team that knows that and knows that you don't really need to be good until April. They sucked in March and just turned it on, and I have a feeling they might extend March now a couple months earlier, and they might suck.
Horrible. No,
They're
man.
like, man, did we shut it down too late last
Wait,
year?
Jokic isn't coming back from Serbia until January?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I could also see them being the 72-win Warriors. The year after they won, they're like, you know what? Fuck it. This is our league.
Yeah.
This is,
Well, that's what Jamal Murray is going to be
That
like.
is the only way. The
My
only
freaking
way that Malone will
2K
be able to
rating,
win.
84.
Why is that unthinkable? Why would you do that?
It's not unthinkable. It's Murray definitely. Look, guys that you think will have that energy. Jamal Murray, no question. Christian Brown, just because he plays with it all the time. Michael Malone, for sure. Anybody else that you think for sure will have that energy?
I feel like I need to be the voice of reason here. Like, we're not working the same paradigm that we have in years past. Like, we're no longer a plucky upstart. Can they do it? These are the goddamn NBA champions. Won 16 games to 4 losses, had the second or third best run in the history of the NBA. You don't think they want to come out and be like, yo, this is our goddamn league.
There's also the team that took 6 weeks off to end the year. So I don't know. It's hard to say.
But
the playoffs are what matter, and they know that. I mean, there are two types.
They hadn't won at that point. They hadn't won the championship.
They hadn't won at that point. I'm saying, there's something different. I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping that we get that. I want dynasty feel. I want come out like, yo, this was absolutely no way a fluke, and we're about to run roughshod of its entire league.
Another example of this, though, when you talk about winning and then the next year, like the 95 Rockets, I think, were they a 6 seed that next year or whatever, and then they dominated the playoffs. Like, sometimes that's just what happens as teams are like, oh, we won, sweet, we'll chill. Let's take a break. On the other side, I got a couple more of these, plus some wind chimes, some desert wind chimes from around Carbone's.
I will bring you some.
Wherever he got him.
I'll bring you some wind chimes from Carbone. I got some more. Shady Rays, guys. Use the code DNVR for 50% off 2+ pairs of Shady Rays sunglasses. Polarized Shady Rays sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades are rated 5 stars by 250,000 people.
And 2,000. How many? 2,002.
250,000 people.
And 2. We just
my brain's not really working.
No, mine either.
At this point
I would hit a 22 right now.
But Shady Rays, they hooked all of us up with these great sunglasses for this trip. We have needed them, so shout out to them. If you go on some of these Shady Rays, go to shadyrays.com. You can browse their entire selection. They've got so many different styles, so many different kinds of sunglasses. You can also shop in-store. Brand new location for them, Park Meadows Mall, a full-stop shop for all things Shady Rays. If you don't love your Shady Rays, hey, exchange them for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. You got 30 days to try them out. If you don't like them, send them back, get a new pair. There's no risk when you shop with Shady Rays. So go to shadyrays.com, or you can go in store, but go to shadyrays.com, use the code DNVR. 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by 250,000 people. Of course, we've been staying at Circa all weekend, all week. Circa Resort and Casino here in Vegas. It's my go-to from now on and forever. I mean, I've been blown away by Circa this entire week and this entire weekend. We've done the show from the sports book a couple days. We were at Stadium Swim a couple days ago. The pool is incredible.
Oh, my God.
Incredible. I went back yesterday.
There's no better place in Vegas to watch a game than at Stadium Swim at Circa. Open 365 days a year. They got hot tubs there, 15K square feet of wet space. 2 swim-up bars. They got cabanas you can rent out that can hold up to
bananas.
50 guests. Those are the super cabanas. And, of course, the resort is awesome. The rooms, it's the nicest room I've stayed in Vegas. And I've stayed in some of the bigger hotels as well.
I'm terrified to go home, I'll say that.
If you're heading out here
Get
for
one last shower in,
a
maybe?
sporting event, Broncos, Raiders, Avs, Golden Knights, Pac-12 tournament, whatever, book your stay with code DNVR20 for 20% off.
That's actually a great deal.
It's an awesome deal, man. DNVR20, 20% off your stay here in Vegas at Circa with that code.
All right, we're back
Save
here.
a bunch of cash, man.
Do you guys know who I
need
think
it.
was the big winner of of Vegas this week?
Jabari Smith.
Yeah, Jabari or Tari Eason.
The Sphere.
Oh,
The Sphere is unbelievable. It was a moon last night. You guys were talking to the Uber driver, like some real tons of conversation. And I pointed at the Sphere because the Sphere looked like as if the moon was the size of Saturn. That's how cool it looked. And it looked exactly like the moon. Did you see? I showed you, Dev. You looked unimpressed. But
just a spoiler alert. Just a spoiler. Adam had been drinking. He was looking at the moon.
It was the actual moon. He wanted me to just go, oh.
The Sphere feels like the simulation screwed up. You know, like something's not rendered. It looks so like surreal.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I am as pro Sphere as you can be.
Dude,
The Sphere has to be so big because everybody talks about it.
Yeah.
That is, you either
I'll tell you
are
who the winner is.
pro-Sphere or against it. You're anti-Sphere.
I feel like I don't have a Sphere stance.
You don't have a Sphere I thought you of all people would have an enormous Sphere
I'm
stance.
pro-Sphere. I'm pro.
Let me think about this.
You're not what? You're an
Well,
artist.
hold on.
I think.
Let me walk through this. All right.
Yeah.
It's a current spectacle. All right. That's whatever. Definitely going to lose some of its shine.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Because they could always put something new on it. And then
No,
that's the
but,
story.
It's never the same.
It's like
But
the
the-
Burj
the
Khalifa.
pixel-
You don't talk about it as much, but,
But
it's
the-
still like, oh my God, that's the craziest
Yeah,
thing
but
I've
it's
ever
not
seen.
reliant on pixels that have to be very bright. It'll slowly fade. I'm pro Sphere. I'm in.
It's really cool. If you're in Vegas, I'm telling you, it makes Vegas cooler because every now and then you'll just look over and you'll be like, holy hell, what is? Oh yeah, that's the Sphere. All right, we got a couple more. Kel, you're with me, right? Oh, totally pro Sphere. All right. Eric was getting wild here. All right, more likely to happen. I got 2 more of these. More likely, or pick a side here, either or. Nuggets win 3 or more championships in this era,
Okay.
or just the one. Just the
What's
one.
more likely?
Yeah, Wynn's going first on this one. You took
A
the
thing
last
that's
3.
happened or a thing that's our wildest dreams?
I
Well,
mean,
no, they don't win another, or they win 3.
of course it's one.
Of course.
Of course.
Of
Like,
course it
that's
is.
just more likely. But I will say, with the young talent that has been infused into the Nuggets pipeline, I can see the vision of how this could be a dynasty.
Yeah.
If Hunter Tyson,
What do you
Peyton
mean if?
Watson, Julian Strother, Jalen Pickett, if these guys hit, like
Yeah,
the
oh,
Nuggets are going to be
I mean, they're-
absolutely loaded for years and years and years to
They're
come.
not. They can't all hit. I mean, that would be
There's
like
no
that would be
chance.
the craziest.
I mean,
thing
they
ever.
could.
I mean, they could, but I mean, they're not going to.
You're trying to give me a good time with this question because you're trying to say that Jokic is a top 3 guy of all time. Because if they win 3 championships, he's gonna be the man. Everybody, they hate him already. They would truly hate him. The answer is 1.
That fat tub of
The
lard.
answer is 1. The gods won't allow this to happen because
I don't
we
believe
would
that.
be insufferable.
Well, that's true. That's
I mean,
fair.
the worst.
But hold on. These other dynastical franchises, we have to deal with their fan bases. They are insufferable. They've been granted the ability, they've been granted the gift of hubris by the basketball god, something that we have avoided at every turn. I want unconditional hubris as a Nuggets fan.
Hubris.
I want to walk into an arena and be like, Nuggets fans are here. You know, and you got to act accordingly. You know what I mean?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
That's what.
Get really high?
That's what happens with the Lakers.
That's what I
So,
mean.
yeah.
Like but we don't.
Oh, I see
we
what
don't
you mean.
act away, but they
Yeah.
come in like with a presence. I want to come in with a Nuggets presence.
you guys were in Vegas, man. This is the time to gamble. I'm saying 3+, baby.
Me too.
I mean, here's the thing. If the Nuggets,
You couldn't have just said 2. I mean,
I think I meant to, and then I screwed up the question because, in my mind, my argument was going to be if they didn't win this year, I would be like, they're going to win one in the Jokic era. That was my argument, which would have been 2.
2, yeah.
But this is 3.
no, you went really
I
you went
screwed
hard
it up.
in the paint.
I
so
screwed it
hard.
up.
It was
I screwed
so
it up.
high.
But you know what? F it. Be bold. I will say this. Anything is possible with Yoke. Through Yoke, all things are possible, man.
It's true.
All right, who's having a better summer? Jokic or Jamal? Let's go to Jokic here first, Kale.
Oh,
you
my
haven't.
God.
Let's go to Jokic here. What is he doing? He is out rafting the high seas. Everybody's seen this, by the way. Like, I'm not showing you anything new, but people haven't seen this. This is a couple days old. Although I do like. What are we doing here, Gil? All right, there we go. Check this front flip out. Oh, he's rafting on a river. He front flips right into it. That's actually good form for a big guy. He's somehow
river.
Yeah.
Dude, is he getting more athletic?
I think so. I've never seen hops like that.
Nobody can put him in the pick and roll like that.
But hold up. We also have Jamal Murray, who he himself has chosen his own way of having
spam
fun.
the flip and roll now.
Yeah, that was really good. I kid. That was really good. Here's Jamal Murray with Volk walking out of UFC. Here in town to watch his teammates, Volk.
Unbelievable. You can come to whatever.
Look at it. He's got the necklace. He's got all of this.
That is the necklace
man.
that Aaron Gordon gifted him.
And then, now he's doing the walk. Also, like, if you're a UFC fighter, don't walk in with an NBA player. Look how little he looks.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? This is a
Not great.
horrible
Yeah, I mean,
look
we
for
all
a
know
Volk.
Jamal Murray's 6'4".
So what you're asking us is who's having more fun, the guy walking or the guy frolicking?
I mean, the guy's walking to the VIP courtside of a UFC
Yeah,
fight
but he's
in
also
Las
like,
Vegas.
He's also like working out with the
Wait,
team.
hold on. Would you rather be in the wilderness than at a UFC fight?
I would
Like
rather
me?
I would rather frolic than work.
Really?
Jamal's working.
I just invited you to the boat. We were basically doing that same thing.
Well, I know, but if my option was go to work or come to this boat, I would choose boat.
Okay.
The thing that we're not hearing in that video, there was an MVP chant
On the river.
before he
I
did
know.
that cool-ass flip.
Yeah.
He's living his best life.
Dude,
There's
that's
no
what I'm saying.
way
It's
that
like usually when there's an MVP chant, you like step out and acknowledge it, like thank you. He
Yeah,
just
dude.
decides to do a front flip.
Dude, yeah. Jamal is walking out like making sure he's like, I gotta look cool. The brand's on the line, and Jokic is like, wee.
I posted a tweet yesterday. It's like because in July it's like Paul George, Steph Curry, they're working out with like an NBA legend and like a rookie that is gonna like learn the ropes.
Yeah, they're doing it all wrong.
And then Jokic in July, he's doing flips off of things. Like,
Damn it.
you have to insure him at this point. The MVP is
know.
flipping off of things. He's jumped the last
That's
two
not
times.
dangerous.
The last 2 times we've seen him, he's jumped in a pool of water.
And they're like, we want to
The
take out.
guy loves pool time.
He does.
They're
love
like, we
pool
want to
time.
take out an insurance policy. Need to know 2 things. How does it cover horseplay and water sports? Nothing else. Nothing else needs to be covered.
All
That
right.
was so bad.
Wow.
Why was that bad?
I like Jokic. Me and Jokic really are. I think about this all the time.
Oh, God.
We have so much in common.
Yeah, you do.
We
Oh, I
really
would
are. Like,
say.
spiritually, we're kind of like the same
Yeah,
kind
in
of guy,
so many ways.
Don't you agree, Dev? Like, I just-
Absolutely. You guys both don't wear a size 10 in shoes.
actually, same size shoe as Yoke. Very, very interesting fact. Hook me up with some shoes, Yoke. No, but him out rafting and that river looked gorgeous. It looked lush, and then like swimming. Like to me, that's my jam right there. All right, let's get to some wind chimes. Wind, you were at Carbone. You were at Summer League. You were around.
Carbone, man. So
Carbone.
I had this perfect table at Carbone last night, right
This
in
would be a wind
perfect.
chime. It's just a brag.
right in the
wind
hallway
brag?
where everybody was walking in.
First wind chime.
I mean, let me just
I'm
reel
into it.
off
I'm into
the
it.
coaches that were there.
Hit me with them. Hit me with them.
Steve Kerr, Eric Spoelstra, Mark Daigneault, Jeff Van Gundy.
I think that you
walked in.
slowed down for him. Like those other guys were way more interesting than
But like
Jeff
Jeff Van Gundy is very like noticeable. You're like, oh, there's
Yeah.
the bald head. There, he's really short.
He is one of the more famous bald people.
Yeah, and they congregated like next to my table and were just talking
Yeah.
for like 20 minutes.
About you?
I don't know. Could have been.
Could have been.
And then right next to them, weird table, Jaime Jaquez and a bunch of guys who looked like his agents.
Bro, what? How do we not get the call to come to the
Carbone.
central NBA meeting
It was the spot last night. And then in a private room,
What the hell?
right adjacent to this little coach's huddle,
I'm so ready for this.
there were 2 tables. You ready?
Yep.
One table was a Golden State Warriors table.
Okay.
Staffers, assistants, front office. The other table, a Denver Nuggets table.
What? Commingling?
Stan Josh Kroenke, most of the front office was there as well.
What do they get? What's the championship meal?
I love that
The two most recent NBA champions on adjacent tables in the same private room at
breaking
Carbone
bread.
last night.
Just breaking bread.
Breaking
They're like,
bread.
winners
Just thought
win.
that was interesting.
Winners win and
Yeah.
eaters eat.
Yeah. So that was fun people watching last night.
Oh, man, I gotta
Man,
tweet
these
that.
are good.
Did you already tweet that? I'm going to tweet it.
No, you can have that one.
Anything else? Or is that, should we wrap up win chimes here?
Here's a wind chime from Summer League.
Okay.
The Nuggets have two open two-way spots.
Yeah.
I have heard about one guy that they are signing to a two-way deal.
Okay.
Don't think I can say who it is, but think big. Think big.
And not currently on the squad.
What is that guy? When you said think big, it just made me think a big name. Remember that guy on Milwaukee last year?
Giannis
Oh,
Oh, no. I mean, yeah. I should say think tall player.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go. The Nuggets are going to fill out their two-way roster players. Okay. All right. I'll give you one wind chime I had. I had heard. I talked because out here there's a bunch of draft people. A bunch of people that just only do the draft. I heard a lot of those guys. Talked to a lot of them. Very poor grades on the Denver Nuggets draft. A lot of people very, very, very down on Denver's draft.
Interesting.
And again, some people that almost didn't even want to go on record because they're like, man, I just don't want to like piss off everyone's agent, like this and that. But like, I hated their draft, all three guys or whatever. So
They were doubted before, though. I've seen them be doubted and still win a championship.
Oh, that's true. I saw that too.
And I'm telling you, and then I see Brian Windhorst, yesterday go on, I think it was JJ Redick's pod, and he's talking about what a horrible summer it had. And I'm like you, D-Line. Part of me sits and goes, like, I can see some of their arguments. The Nuggets went young. They're defending champ. Like, going young, that's very unconventional. Okay. So I can see, I think it's fair. But then there's this other part of me that goes, oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I was like, the ink's not even dry on the championship certificate yet, and everyone's like,
It's
they'll
over.
never do
They-
this again.
They
Move
lost.
on.
They lost Jeff Green.
Yeah.
It's over.
They're like,
Dynasty over.
Yeah, they were like, if they had serious championship aspirations, they would get Keita Bates-Diop on the phone. First thing.
You know what's funny is that's actually true. If the Nuggets would have signed Keita Bates-Diop, people would be like,
They could have saved their summer.
That's like a younger Jeff Green. It really is. Like,
They got rid of Bruce Brown. That Keita.
I'll never forget listening to a pod about the lead up to that draft for Keita Bates-Diop, and whoever you had on was like very pro Keita Bates-Diop. I was
Dude,
like,
he is a guy that every draft nerd has loved forever.
yeah, I was like, okay.
Do you know why?
Because he's 6'8" with a
Exactly.
7-foot wingspan, but can't actually play basketball.
does not have
can you imagine if he could, how
6
good he would be?
But I mean, the potential's
the
there.
potential's
Adam.
there. If his shot just falls.
You can see it.
Yeah, dude, what about that Bull? I hear he's quite
Yeah.
tall.
So anyway, I just thought that was a wind chime I thought for me because it wasn't just one person. It was like 4 or 5. And they all had that same report, and I was like, interesting. Filed it away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And also we've heard just from around in the wind itself, maybe from wind. I don't remember. Nuggets really like their young guys. Nuggets really like Peyton Watson.
Really?
Nuggets really like Hunter Tyson. Nuggets really like all their guys.
Yeah, all of them.
They really like all the young guys. So, like if you're wondering what the plan is, and we've all wondered, like we've hinted at it, we've thought, everybody imagines that this is the case. We've heard it now from different places, different varying sources, but like they really believe in this direction with this young draft.
What I will say is it's not a form of like actual disrespect, though. We were pretty shocked about the draft that they had. Like this was one that kind of the Nuggets front office knew who they wanted, and they went after those guys, whether it be early or whatever the case may be. They knew who they wanted. So this was a surprise to a lot of people. The people that are doing this for their job all the time, I'm sure that they're shocked. So they don't know how or what it is because what we've learned is Calvin Booth just kind of does not have an actual type. He just is all around. He has a vision. And
Good player.
He's
That's his type.
He's going to stick with that vision.
Keep all of your wives away from him. He has no type. He likes them.
You got another one for us, Wind?
I mean, speaking about the young guys, Jalen Pickett's going to play a lot this season.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean,
Because he's awesome.
The biggest reason is he's pretty good, and he might be the second
It's a
best
fair
point
reason to
guard
play.
on the Nuggets roster.
It's a fair reason to play.
Actual roster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's awesome, man. I'm looking forward to it. I will say another thing I wonder, this is less a wind chime and a thing I'm kind of wondering. I would not be surprised if the Nuggets mix up who plays and who doesn't over these final 3 games.
Yeah.
And in particular, some of this is, I think, just planned rest already for guys, some like Colin Gillespie and Peyton Watson, the guys that have been already at one summer league. I just wouldn't be surprised if they played 1 or 2 more games, not 3, not all 3 of the remaining games. And then on top of that, I wouldn't be surprised if they just change up some of the lineups and try some other things out to get a different look. Summer League really is more about putting guys in positions to do things than it is about winning.
Of course.
But I do think that there might be a scenario where they just put guys in different positions in Game 3 where you're like, what the hell is this? How is so-and-so coming off the bench? And it's like, well, they just want to flip this guy play here.
Yeah, maybe they don't want to play 2 point guards at the same time.
They're like, you got to sacrifice for the Summer League tournament. I mean,
well, if you
I know you're a shooter,
guys,
but just keep the ball moving along. Don't shoot it. We got to win.
Well, it is funny, though, because when you talk to the players, they did have that mentality. Maybe, as Summer League goes on, it feels less and less. But coming in, it was totally like, no, we want to go out there and win this thing. And we come on.
But now with it not going the way that they wanted to in the first 2 games because of that, maybe they were like, hey, we need to get a real look at these guys because that's what Summer League is about, is to see your talent and just to gauge, okay, what is some of the things that we could work on? How do they work in this type of system? And I think that that's more important. So I do expect in the next 2 games for there to be some changes, maybe sitting a guy like Peyton Watson or, other players just to see what you really have there because you already know what you have in that type of guy.
Okay. Man, so apparently somebody says their SWAT team is called the Caesars.
Yeah, I heard something about that
earlier today.
That's wild. Stealing stuff for them.
We got any other wind chimes? Anything else from the water cooler?
The spicy rigatoni at Carbone. Incredible. Also, tableside Caesar salad.
What?
Yeah.
Anchovy or no anchovy?
I love tableside as if the Caesar is a thing that you're like, oh my god.
They make it right next to your table.
Oh, they mix it.
But did they muddle anchovy to make the dressing?
That's a good question. I wasn't watching.
Tableside, dude.
I wasn't watching closely enough.
I've always every time I order a Caesar, I'm like, I wish I could go back in the kitchen and watch them make this rather than sit here and piece and flat at my
You've
table.
never been charmed and had a wonderful time with tableside guacamole?
I again prefer it just to arrive prepared, not to watch them make all the ingredients.
Adam doesn't like to know anything about any of the things that show up to help out his life.
That's so true. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, guys, the in-season tournament is here, and I've got takes. You're never going to believe it, Eric. I have opinions on something.
Well, listen. Don't listen, actually. For the listeners, don't listen.
Guys, the Game Time app. Use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Buying tickets to your favorite event shouldn't be stressful. Game Time is fast and easy. Way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. If you're looking for great tickets to sporting events, front row seats at a concert, check out the Game Time app. Forget planning months in advance. Nobody plans ahead anymore.
Dude, I can't plan.
Just forget about that.
I can't plan today, and we're flying.
Game Time has deals on tickets right up until the time of the event, like right before first pitch, right before tip-off. You can still get tickets on Game Time. They've got these last-minute price drops. They've also got the Game Time guarantee. You always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DNVR for $20 off your purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Also, make sure to check out Illegal Pete's.
Oh, man.
Illegal Pete's has the best happy hour around, the longest happy hour around. It's your go-to spot this summer.
Dude, look at this. This looks like I'm enjoying Illegal Pete's right now. Just reach
that
out.
Beer?
Grab that. Can I get some of that?
3 to 8 p.m. every single day at every Illegal Pete's location. It's the longest happy hour around. Enjoy a few extra margs on the patio at happy hour prices. Also wear Nuggets gear to any Illegal Pete's location. Grab a house marg or draft beer for free with the purchase of an adult entree. But again, they got happy hour 3 to 8 p.m. every single day.
Hell yeah.
All righty. We got to be a little quick here, guys, because we do have a flight to catch I don't want to miss. I was really hoping we made our flight today.
Dude, I will miss any flight for Summer League chat.
In-season tournament, the details are out. It is here. Remember, Adam Silver has been wanting this since he became commissioner. Really, since before he became the commissioner, I'm told.
What a strange platform to... But go ahead.
What do you mean?
For that to be the thing that you want to get done in the NBA, it's like there's a lot of rule, you know what, or we can make this weird spectacle. But anyway, go ahead.
Here's the thing. I think that humans, by and large, their default setting is to not want change. Just because, like, change is uncertain, right? And people would rather take a status quo unless things really, really are terrible. So I think that there's a natural inclination to say, like, this is dumb, this is going to be bad, it's going to be a bust. I will say, it could have been significantly worse in how they designed this. If it was like Adam Silver was just going to say, we're doing this no matter what, we want an in-season tournament, and you add games to the schedule or condense the schedule or something like that, absolute disaster. But that's not what they've done.
Yep.
What they've done instead is said, we are going to do two things at once. Play a regular season game and make those games count as this pool play for an in-season tournament, which is exactly what's going to happen. So there is a drawing, and I think there's a formula to how every year it gets drawn. Kind of similar how the NFL does, like how their schedules are, right? How you line up and who you play. There's a formula to this. This year, Denver will play against. Do you guys remember? Do you have it pulled up right in front of you?
I do have their group pulled up.
Go for it.
The Los Angeles Clippers.
They play at home against
favorites to take home the in-season tournament.
The New Orleans Pelicans
on the road for them.
Dallas Mavs
home against them,
and Eric's Houston Rockets.
They're going to have to go on the road for that tough one. So that's who they got in their pool play. But here's what's cool. They were going to play those teams anyway in their regular season schedule. But now, one of those games now counts as this, like, pool play to see if you get into and where you are seeded for the tournament.
That's perfect for the Rockets game. It actually will give it some meaning.
1,000%. First of all, that Rockets game is just a throwaway game at Houston. Like, Denver might play like shit that game, and you're all mad because it's the Rockets. But instead now it's like, no, this counts for the tournament.
Now we can be mad that they're losing the group play game in Houston.
And the same goes for the Pelicans. Yeah, all these games now have this added importance.
How are they not going to start Jokic for the in-season play-in? What the hell?
I will put so much money on them to lose that game.
I'm with you, Adam. Though
they're gonna have like one of these. Like Nuggets are gonna have a back-to-back on 3 of their 4 pool play games.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah,
I am with you. Like, I like the fact that they structured it in this way, that it's not additional games. It's just shifting some sort of quasi-meaning to games that were already happening. The casual, as it were, like, requires more motivation sometimes as the season stretches on to be interested in basketball games. I don't suffer from such an affliction. I like basketball. I like every Nuggets game. I wish there were more Nuggets games. I am very sad that it's played by human beings that have limitations. We can't just have one every goddamn day. But you're right. Like, people want things to be interesting and shiny. So, F it. Like,
but go ahead.
I like the fact that it gives incentives, like, for the players, especially the young players. Like, we all know that it's money.
$500,000.
So you get that for winning, and also even if you don't win, you get it for being like the second team and things like that. And it's during the regular season, so it's not like it's. So it kind of gives like the March Madness type of feel for it, where you could just be happy during the season or something to root for. But also in the middle of the year, it's something to play for besides just like a random game on a Tuesday. So I do like that added element.
But there's more to it. Here's what I really love. The games are Tuesdays and Fridays in the regular season. So they're in November. So in the month of November, we'll know that the tournament has sort of started. You'll play a game on Tuesday, and then you might have a game again on Wednesday or something like that, that doesn't count towards the tournament. But the Tuesday and Friday, every team will play on those days, so they become marquee games. One of the things, like the NFL has a marquee day. It's Sunday. On Sundays, everybody watches football, right? The NBA is now creating this Tuesday, Friday during November where it's like, okay, we got to watch the NBA because these are tournament games and we want to follow along. I think it will work. It'll work for me because I'm going to be interested. So that part to me is the part that's really cool about this, is that you'll have those days where like, oh, this is a, whatever cup game, NBA Cup, I think it's called, the NBA Cup game. And then after that, the winner of each pool goes into the tournament. And then I love this rule as well. Though 2 teams that didn't advance that have the best overall record, not pool play record, but at that point just the best record, get into it as well.
Wild cards.
As wild cards. So here's what I love. You're incentivized both to have a good regular season just in general and to have a good pool. So they have tried to create as best as they can, in my opinion, as best they can, Reason for guys to care a little bit more about the regular season in the month when teams seem to care the least about the regular season, which is November. So now I like it. The Nuggets can have the best record on November 30th, not win their pool, and still have a chance to go into this 3-round tournament, 8 teams, right? 3 rounds, where they could each win $500,000. I think that is really cool. And then the final piece is it'll be right back here in Las Vegas for the semifinal. The first round.
God damn it.
You guys don't want to come out. If the Nuggets are in the semifinal final, you don't want to fly out to Vegas in November?
Send me out here if we're going to stay at Circa. I'll come out here.
I'll Circa, come out man.
I need to. Yeah, I'll pre-order my victory burger. I want it ready for me when I show up.
I'll pre-order my Caesar salad.
In all seriousness, man, like the regular season product is becoming frighteningly
for sure,
like up and down. You just never know what you're going to get. And I do think that this is one where like this is going to happen next year, where somebody's going to roll an ankle and we're like, oh, I hope he's back for the cup. I hope he's back for Tuesday's game. We got the cup, man. We got to get Jamal back out there so they can win the cup. I love it.
Yeah. I actually think it's going to be a massive hit. It's going to be huge, I think.
You think? I don't know. I think it will be of interest.
Yeah, I thought massive might be the word. I disagree.
We'll see. I don't know. I mean, I think that there's going to be a little too much, like, giggling at what this means. You know, like, people like the
cup, the trophy, yeah.
Yeah, but there's
how did they not name it after somebody? That seems very unlike NBA.
No, it's going to be like the Sprite cup or something. They're not going to name it after a person.
The Kia Ultimate Getaway.
The Clorox cup.
The Clorox cup.
Dude, I would do anything for the Clorox cup. But there's going to be like laughing about it. Like,
I think Circa should buy the rights
to the Circa cup.
The Circa Cup.
And we call it the Circa Circuit. So,
all right. That's a little tough.
The Circa mid-season tournament.
I'm into it, and I'll say this, man.
Circa the middle.
You know this?
The Victory Burger Cup.
I want the Nuggets to win. Also,
well, I want us to win every champion. We need to win every championship from here on out.
Can you imagine, though, being one of these young guys? Like Colin Gillespie. Does Colin Gillespie on a two-way get it, or does he not get it? That would suck if he doesn't get it.
He'll be on the roster at that time.
I mean, if he wins it, he's going to make like 30 times his salary.
That's what I was going to say. It'd be awesome for him. I just like the idea of you get like all these rookies and young guys, and they win a cup in Vegas and each get $500,000. That would be a great night.
And then
Vegas.
You can just burn it. Yeah,
just burn it all in Vegas. I'm pro the tournament. I'm excited for it. I hope it works out. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, we're going to send ourselves home, but we're going to send you guys off with an interview from Marko Barać, who's coaching on the Nuggets Summer League roster.
Backus and Shanker wins for Colorado families. They've been doing so for more than 25 years, and the coolest thing about Backus and Shanker is you don't pay them any money until they win your case.
Yeah.
No upfront fees, no fees while they work on your case, no fees unless they win your case and win money for you, and they've been winning money for a long time. 25 years, they've won over $1 billion for their clients, now with even more locations throughout all of Colorado, including neighborhood offices in Denver, Aurora, Englewood, and Fort Collins. They've got the strength and power to win your case, more than 30 lawyers, 100 staff members at Backus & Shanker, and Backus & Shanker helps with all kinds of injury cases where you weren't at fault. Car accidents, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrians, trucks, they can even help you if you're injured at work. Call them today, 303-222-2222 to find out if you have a case for free. Backus & Shanker wins. Also at Kind Love, which is an official partner of DNVR and one of the first dispensaries in Colorado. They were established in 2010. They're known for cultivating some of the highest quality cannabis in the state. They've also got the Turbo joint line with that Turbo Keef, 0.3 grams of it, also 0.7 grams of whole bud, ridiculously potent, burns significantly smoother than other infused pre-rolls on the market. It's not going to melt or be messy in your car this summer. It burns much slower and is more flavorful too than some of those other pre-rolled joints.
I'm so confused. Are they advocating you just keep it in your car?
Yeah, they're advocating to hotbox your car.
Don't get a Turbo Keef situation and then drive. I'll just say that.
Yeah. I think they're just saying when you buy it.
When you transfer it.
It's not going to melt in your car on the drive home.
Okay,
while it's still...
It makes more sense, duh.
Not lit. Yes.
I'm not experienced like you, Dev. I don't know how Keef works.
Yeah.
Visit one of their stores in Cherry Creek or North Denver. Mention DNVR. Get the exclusive DNVR discount, 25% off all Kind Love flower pre-rolls and their Turbo joint line. Visit their website, kindlove.com, for their full menu and online ordering.
All right, final segment here, guys, and final segment of us in Vegas. We are going to be off tomorrow. We'll be back on Thursdays. We're doing tomorrow travel day. Spend some time with our families.
I'll spend some time with your family. Just invite me over, bro.
But we enjoyed ourselves out here, and we enjoyed sharing it all with you as best we could. We have some great interviews up on our YouTube channel that did not make the show. You know, guys, they're short interviews. Reggie Jackson, we got Jack White, Jim Klibanoff. There's a lot of different people that we talked to, and even more going up today and tomorrow. Some good short little bite-sized interviews. You'll see them on Twitter as well. And hopefully just all of the coverage. Summer League does roll on. They're going to be playing games tomorrow. They'll be playing games on Friday and then again, I believe, on Sunday. So we will have 3 more games to talk about over the course of the next week and a half. But this does it for our time here. Eric, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part of Summer League always is the same in spirit, which is that I see some insane combination of people that I never would have thought of if I used AI. And I was like, AI, create Jerry Stackhouse talking to Kenny Lofton Jr.'s agent alongside Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. These things, I'm like, what is this? I love that.
What about you, Dev?
I'm a hoops junkie. I like to be in the gym. This is my first time being in the gym in a while because I usually cover the high school scene. So these are players that I've seen in high school, and now you get to see them at a different level. I also like the fact that you can watch multiple NBA games
It's
and
awesome.
sit there all damn day. I love
awesome.
that.
Hanging with the fellas.
Yeah, late nights with the fellas.
Oh, late nights with the fellas.
Podcasting with the fellas. Meals with the fellas.
Oh, my salads
late
with the fellas.
nights
What a
with
treat.
the fellas.
What a treat.
I mean, that's my favorite part of it.
Yeah. I mean, all of it, man. I love Summer League. I tell everybody this is one of my favorite weeks of the entire
great.
calendar
It's
year.
great.
I love it because I'm a hoops junkie. I love to be in the gym. I love to sit so close to everybody. You get to see the game in a different light. You get to see all the combinations of random people, and you get to talk to people, man. Like, honestly, you just go from different groups, talking to different people, hanging out and doing fun stuff, man. And it's so fun. It's exhausting. We got to do it with All City Big this year, and I thought it was fun. And guess what? It's only going to get bigger and bigger.
This is what I'm saying. My actual favorite part is just feeling this rise in All City, seeing the energy from the other networks coming together, a pride in trying to create something that's bigger than even just Denver. All City is the resistance. All City is looking to redefine how people enjoy and talk about sports. We're looking to make it so that fans feel like they're not only acknowledged, but they are honored. And it's really cool to see so many other people understand, get the vision, and we're just, this partnership with Circa is just very satisfying. It's cool to see a plan come together, and I love it, and I wouldn't want to do it with anybody but you guys.
Aww.
And those other guys.
And without further ado, guys, Marko Barać, he is the head coach of Mega Basket, where Jokic used to play. He is one of the rising young coaches in Serbia, and the Denver Nuggets saw something in him. They've been meeting him over the last little bit, and they said, why don't you come out here? We're going to learn from you. You're going to learn from us. And this will be the first of several parts of our interview that we air throughout the week. This one on the 2-time MVP and NBA champion, Nikola Jokic. You've been around Serbian basketball since he arrived in Colorado, but when were you first made aware of him as a player?
You know the story how he came to Mega.
Yeah.
And obviously the guys did a great job with him, recognizing, being patient, giving him a chance. And then when I first had contact with him is World Championship under 19 for the national team of Serbia. He was 18 back then. He was the youngest in the team, and he was in training camp with us. He showed a couple of moves, that really knocked us down. And we brought him to the team. He wasn't one of the main players initially, but during the tournament, he was a surprise also for the opponent players. Everybody that was under 19, and those guys have played against each other when they were 18, when they were 16, and they all knew each other, but nobody knew Nikola. Nobody knew Nikola, so everybody was surprised with the way he plays and the way he doesn't feel any pressure or any fear. That was those were the first things that everybody saw. Obviously, after that, I could see, knowing the great work that Mega is doing at that time with Coach Decky, who is now in Warriors, with all other coaches, I could understand that he will be good player, great player, NBA player, but I don't think anybody knew how great he would become the best player in the world without any doubt.
But his basketball IQ at that time, is that why you thought he would be so good? Or you were because when you mentioned it, you said his footwork, he made some moves. But was it his moves? Was it his...
No, maybe it was a wrong expression. Like move is, for me, also playing without the ball, Okay. It's also making the right pass, and he does the right play, but he gives a little bit of more in everything he does. It's always a little bit more, let's say, prettier pass than everybody else can do, So it's his basketball IQ, obviously. It's his ability to put the ball on the floor, to pass, to shoot. But also a lot of people doesn't understand how big he actually is. So he can take the guy down there on the block and play with his back to the basket. So really, he's a complete basketball player.
In what ways do you think Jokic is molded by the Serbian basketball tradition, whatever that means? Like, in what ways do you think Serbia has influenced the type of player he is?
He's obviously a unique talent. So that is not something that happens often. But I can see a lot of things that are common in Serbia that he's got in his game, and that is the way he takes the challenge, the way he doesn't care really who he plays against. Is it like NBA legend? Is it when he was younger? Is it the best player in the world at that time, or it's just some guy in international basketball? He doesn't feel the difference. He plays the same way, and that is something that in Serbia we are proud of. When we are underdogs, when everybody believes that we can't make it, that is when we act the best.
But what happens now that he's the champion?
He showed huge professionalism. He showed that it is easier to achieve something, but it is much more difficult to stay there. And the way he does it, the way he stays hungry, and the way he loves basketball still, trying to repeat, it's like credit for him, it's unique.
Yeah. Do you feel like him winning and his rise has had an impact on basketball, the next generation of players? Is there more people that are liking basketball and getting into it over the last few years because he's the MVP and now a champion?
Yeah, that is really a case. It's the first time in history of Serbia, that we have a player who is the best in the world and who won the ring, but who have been the biggest part, and the most important part of the team who won the ring. That's the first time in history, and of course, a lot of kids are starting to play basketball now because of him. So that is like a huge thing. That's a huge thing, and even when he wins it with Serbia, it will become so big that I cannot find words. I think that every kid in Serbia, I feel sorry for the other sports. I don't know who's gonna play any other sport when he does that. So far it's unbelievable.
Yeah. I love it. Well, I'm excited that you've gotten to be here. Hopefully, it becomes the beginning of a new partnership with Mega. I found Mega to be very interesting, and it's only growing more and more interesting as it establishes itself more and more. So
thanks.
Excited that we got to have this conversation.
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad that I'm here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.